Welcome back, friends. Today I'm going to show you how I make one of my felt banners. I love making these. I have limited sewing skills, so I promise this is at a beginner level, but I give you a no-sew option as well. I've made these for all seasons and holidays, for themed birthdays, etc. The limit is your imagination. Today we are going to make a fall-colored pumpkin banner. Let's start with a supply rundown. For the base, I'm using old twine that's over 20 years old, but you could use string or ribbon. You need a glue gun. Mine is literally 33 years old, so I can't link it. Sharp scissors, a needle, multicolored floss or thread, and felt. This is inexpensive felt from a fabric store. The colors I'm using are a rich green for the stem, olive, and 4 colors for the pumpkins: orange, goldenrod, antique white, and ocean blue. I'll also list these in the description. Okay, now let's get started. First step is to draw your shape. Keep the details minimal and keep in mind the size you want. If they are too big, the item will flop over without stabilizer. These pumpkins are about 3.5 inches from top of stem to the bottom of the pumpkin. Also keep in mind where you're going to hang it and how much space you need. I wanted to add dimension by making the stem a different color and by dividing the pumpkin front into 3 parts. Therefore, I need to have 3 copies of my finalized design. I printed this up on cardstock so it's thicker. One copy is to create the back template. The second copy is to create a template for the 3 front panels. In this template, I'm going to label the 3 panels just so I don't get the left and right panels confused. And the third is for a stem template. The back template is an outline of the entire design. It creates stability and a place to sew or glue the front pieces to. The front template are just the 3 panels of the pumpkin separated and does not include the stem. Having these sewn on separately helps add dimension and layers to the piece, I think making it more interesting. I cut the middle panel slightly larger than the lines so it will overlap the side panels. For the stem template, I'm just cutting out, you guessed it, the stem. However, I'm extending the bottom by about 1/2 inch so I have space to sew it under the panels so that it looks more seamless and I don't have to worry about gaps between the 2 colors. Here's how all the pieces will fit together. Stem sewn or glued down first, then the side 2 panels, and then the middle panel. This order is to eliminate having to sew the inside of the side panels down. In theory, the middle piece should be placed slightly over the side panels since we cut it slightly bigger. Then we can sew down the middle panel and the side panels at the same time. Let's get to tracing. I use a fine line disappearing ink pen I bought from Benzie. I'll link it below. You can also use a fine tip marker that is slightly darker than your color of felt, but you will see some of the tracing lines. I simply trace around the template, going over it a few times. I cut it out right away because of the disappearing ink. If you are working with a regular marker, you can wait and cut them whenever you want. I usually trace all of one shape first so I can file that template away, but I want to show you all the steps for one pumpkin in order. This is the stem template. Again, just trace the template and cut it out. The stem fits nicely on top of the backing. Next are the front panels. You guessed it, trace them individually and cut them out. I like to hot glue my pieces together before I sew. You could pen the pieces together instead if you don't want to deal with the glue. You could use fabric glue if you don't like the bump of the hot glue, but it doesn't bother me, and it would take more drying time. We're working back to front, so first I'm going to glue the stem down on the top of the back. Now I'm going to place my twine about in the middle of the shape and drizzle glue over the twine and the fabric so it covers both. And then I'm going to quickly put on the front panels. Now everything is held nicely in place so I can do all the sewing later all at once. I think it looks really cute and finished as is, so if you don't want to sew, you're done. I just like hand sewing and I like the look it gives the piece. I placed the first pumpkin about 5 to 6 inches in so there is a tail of twine before the pumpkin. Now to the sewing. First, let's start with the stem. I'm using a brown floss, I'll link it below, because I don't have an olive green color and I thought the brown would add some contrast. The floss color choice is up to you. It comes in so many colors, including glow in the dark. I just use a simple straight stitch. First I come from behind the stem with the needle in between the green felt and the back. This way the knot is hidden sandwiched in the middle instead of showing on the back. Stick the needle through to the front and pull all the way until the knot at the end of the thread stops you from pulling. Make sure the knot and any tail are tucked inside. I straight stitch the perimeter and a straight stitch up the middle for decoration. This isn't necessary, I just like the look of it. Now to the front panels. I sew the perimeter of the middle panel and then the outside of the two side panels. And there's one finished pumpkin. Now repeat those steps until you have all your predicted number of pumpkins. You can break this project up over time. I spent a week making mine, working on it a little each day. And there you have it, a sweet pumpkin banner for fall. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching this video in its entirety. If you made it this far, comment your favorite fall decoration down below.